Yeah, one of the big pieces that we think about a lot is, what are the components in that, software supply chain? And that's something that you're tackling as well. I mean, that's part of the trust ladder there. And you're right, security is like, well, we have to make sure we know what's in it. We have to make sure we know what breaks, all the implications there. But the big term we've heard over the last year is SBOMs. And SBOMs in and of themselves are just grocery lists or laundry lists of ingredients. But that's leading to, and that's what I've always heard, leading to the next evolutionary step, which is VEX or VEX. And that's something I see you all helping with out there. So for those of us at home, why don't you give us your definition of VEX and why people need to care?
Yeah, and I'll double down on what you said first about SBOM, which is you usually as enterprise you receive really just kind of opaque installer, and you really don't know what's in there one, unless you ask, and two, if the vendor's going to tell you what's in there. And from a security perspective, you're wondering, and can I scan it? Does it have vulnerabilities? When was it last updated? What versions of this? You might have legal implications, like I can't use certain crypto algorithms aren't exportable, things like that, that it just all comes to you as this big giant opaque blob, if you would. And like you said, SBOM is that. It's kind of like the recipe, all the contents that's in this blob to let you know you're using this software with this version kind of thing. Fantastic, right? And so that kind of solves the first problem of now I know what I'm running. And then along comes, you guessed it, a vulnerability, because they happen and they get released, every day. And from a security perspective, we then begin to ask ourselves, within my giant enterprise, am I vulnerable to this one CVE that was announced today? And so you begin to look at, well, where's all my software? Okay, now you've found your software. Now I need to ask, is that piece of software vulnerable to it? If you're lucky, you have an SBOM, and the SBOM could provide you version and software, and you can kind of match on it from a human perspective and say safe, not safe, kind of thing. What VEX does is it helps you solve that and bring that time down significantly through machine readable packages, if you would. And essentially, what VEX, and while it works well with SBOM, it doesn't have to necessarily work with SBOM. It is a document in machine readable format that says piece of software, version, and then status. And status is usually things like I attest to I am vulnerable, or I can attest to I'm not vulnerable, or not reachable could be another status. Like, yeah, like I'm running that vulnerable software that's affected, but there's no way anybody could reach it or execute it. So you should be aware it's there, but it's kind of safe in a way. And that really helps bring down that time to discovery to the time to action, incredibly. The other great thing about VEX is that it's not a one-time thing, meaning you can deliver your VEX for your product that says, yes, maybe I am vulnerable. And then once you patch it, you can then update it. And then there's this history that says, was vulnerable, now not vulnerable. And to fix it, you need to upgrade to this version over here. So, like I said, it's just not a one-time thing. It, I'm really looking forward to VEX being more widely adopted. I think it's going to take a while. Certainly, SBOM's been around for a number of years and it hasn't been hugely adopted. And so today we're really on just really open VEX is one project that's out there today, which is probably the most popular use of VEX. And there really still isn't a lot of people using it, but from the replicated perspective, if we can help our vendors create and publish SBOMs as well as VEX, then we've really helped them as well deliver what we were just talking about, a better sense of trust, with their enterprise customers. Hopefully that helps. It's kind of glanced over a lot of what VEX is. Yeah.